Hello, economics students. Today we're going to be looking at the concept of scarcity, and we're also going to be looking at something called a paced decision-making model. If you want, you can pause this recording and take a look at this cartoon, which illustrates the opportunity cost of this father's time. In order to get money, he has to give up his time to go to his job, and I think that the kids should be a little more appreciative. Okay, so just to be clear about how things are going to work here, we have learning targets, and these are the targets that are listed in your learning targets packet that you should have downloaded already. When you look at the packet, you'll see a table that looks like this. So these are the questions that come below this are ones that correspond to the number and the letter. And then these are the sections in your Econ Alive textbook that you look at to find the answers. Now, some of the things we'll talk about in class, but others of them you will have to get directly from the textbook. So, for example, if learning target 1A here is covered by section 1.1, you'd want to look for the section in your textbook that says 1.1, which is on page 1. Okay, and then also section 1.3, section 2.2. So remember, the learning target packet is due the day of the exam, and it's something that you should be working on throughout the unit. So an introduction to scarcity. You know, if everyone could have a big house on a piece of water with a dock and a nice boat, well, that would be great, wouldn't it? The reality is that we can't all do that, and the reason why is because resources are scarce. So scarcity is a situation in which human wants are greater than the capacity of available resources to provide for those wants. So it's a situation in which a resource has more than one valuable use. Let's just talk about time as a resource, for example. Virtually everything is scarce if it has any use. Your time has use, and so it is scarce. So if a decision has to be made, scarcity is involved. Do you do your economics ABA, or do you take a walk outside? Well, you have to decide what you're going to do during this time, and then you have to decide the amount of importance that each of it carries, as well as the trade-offs involved. So we're going to look at a decision-making model called by the acronym PACED. So this acronym allows you to weigh your different options, including the benefits and the costs, and select the best possible option. This is called a cost-benefit analysis. What is your cost? What is your benefit of different options that you have? And if your benefit exceeds your cost, then that's going to lead you in the direction of making that decision. So here is how the model works. Step 1 is, first of all, defining the problem. Why must you make a choice? The example I'm going to use today is I need to make a choice about what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. A, list the alternatives. What are your possible options? I've got tacos, I've got hamburgers, or I have spaghetti. C, determine the criteria that are important to you. Do I want something that's easy to do? Do I want something that is easy to clean up? Do I want something that's filling? E, evaluate the alternatives. So how well does each alternative meet each of the criteria that you have selected? And finally, D, you make the decision. Which option has the most favorable trade-offs? So this is basically what a paced decision-making chart would look like. You would have your criteria across the top, and you would have your alternatives below on the side. And I will explain to you or show you an example right now. What should I make with 1 pound of hamburger tonight? Well, as it turns out, I have a few alternatives. I like hamburgers, I like tacos, and I really like spaghetti. So does my family. What criteria am I going to use to evaluate my decision? Is it easy? Is it filling? Does it have fast cleanup? These are the values important to me in this particular decision. Now, obviously, this isn't a really huge decision. We'll talk about some more important decisions in just a few minutes. So I'm going to evaluate that criteria using a plus for, yeah, this is really important, a plus for, it's important, negative, not so important, and double negative, not important at all. So I'm going to go through each of these, hamburgers, are the easy, filling, fast cleanup, everyone likes it, and then total the score. So I've got a +4. It's, a pretty good option overall for hamburgers. Then I look at tacos, and tacos are not easy. Like, trust me, I don't know if you've made tacos, but you gotta cut the lettuce, you gotta cut the tomatoes, you gotta get the sour cream, you gotta get the cheese, you got to get the, do you like the soft shells or the hard shells, Are they filling? Yeah. I mean, the thing is you can eat up a lot of them. Are they fast to clean up? No, because you have so many dishes. And does everyone like it? Yeah, pretty much. So that comes up with a score. Pretty much evens out the negatives and the positives, so here's 0. Now, spaghetti, on the other hand, is really easy. I have a great recipe. I've been making it my whole life. It is really filling. You just, you plop the noodles in. You take as many noodles as you want to. You only use 2 dishes, basically the noodles and the sauce, and we just serve straight from the sauce, or straight from the pans, and everyone likes it. So the total score is 8, a +8. So I go ahead and I make the decision to have spaghetti. Okay, seems like a good decision. All things considered, it meets the criteria that I'm looking for, and it does provide me with with a really good filling meal that is not going to take me forever to clean up. So the opportunity cost of my choice to make spaghetti, and I'll talk about opportunity cost in just a minute, a little bit more, but the opportunity cost is what I'm giving up in order to have my spaghetti. So I'm giving up the opportunity to give hamburgers, which was a fairly decent option as well. And maybe another day I would choose hamburgers because I would want some variety from the spaghetti. But honestly, I do make spaghetti more than anything. So decisions involve trade-offs. This is really important to keep in mind. A trade-off is a situation in which one thing must be decreased for another to be increased. So, an example, kind of extreme one, but I faced a trade-off between eating and buying my medicine. Well, I think, that's a tough one. If that's your choice, getting your medicine or eating, you're in a pretty precarious situation. But keep in mind, decisions have multiple trade-offs. In my decision to make spaghetti, I could have made hamburgers, I could have made tacos, and, on other days, I might have different criteria, and I might end up having a different decision overall. So this is a model that can help you to make decisions and to think about what the trade-offs are. The next best alternative you give up is your opportunity cost. So the next best alternative I had in my decision-making model was hamburgers. So that is what making spaghetti cost me. So this is what you lose when you choose. This is also known as a real cost. It's not necessarily a monetary cost, but a cost of resources or other opportunities. Now, I chose to watch the Vikings and Packers game this week. And, I had some other options for what I could do with my time on that day of that game. It was a nice day outside. I could have mowed my lawn. I could have taken a walk or gone for a bike ride. So my opportunity was really the lost time that I had by not being able to take a bike ride or not being able to mow my lawn. And in the end, well, it wasn't really a great showing for the Vikings, which is my team, the one that I love. And so, it maybe wasn't a good choice on my part. Okay, so now you're going to go to the assignment on Schoology, and I'm going to show you where this is. If you go to our economics homepage and you go to Unit 1, Fundamentals of Economics, you're going to want to go to the assignment that says Paced Decision-Making Model. Colleges, military, due midnight on Tuesday. Okay, so here's what this assignment looks like once you get it open. First of all, what we're going to have you think about is what alternatives do you have in your post-high school planning. Now, keep in mind there are a number of options, including going straight to work. So if you want to include that as one of your options, you can. And Also, military is an option that I've had many students take over the years. Think about your criteria. There's a lot of criteria involved in making a decision for post-high school planning. What are the long-term effects? How much does it cost? Location, size of the school. There are any number of criteria that you might find to be important. So you can go to the College Navigator on this page, and let's say that you want to go to a school in, Minnesota, that's kind of important to you. And so you're going to set that as a pretty high criteria. And you're going to just show all the results for Minnesota. Well, that didn't really narrow it down enough for you. Let's say that you know that that public schools actually cost less. And so you're going to choose a public school. And then you can narrow it down further to see what public schools are out there. And as you look at each of these schools, maybe you're like, well, I think I do want to go to a community college. And you know what? I really like Lake Superior. I'm going to take a look at this one. And so you can look at this one. You can get general information, tuition and fees, financial aid, net price, enrollment, etc. So again, keep in mind that back on this model, you're choosing the criteria that's important to you. And you're going to use the evaluation tools of the plus, minus, or negative, or double minus in order to make your decision about what you might do for post-high school planning. If you plan to go to the military, you can explore your options at this website. And I recommend you taking a look at that as well if military is one of the options that you are considering. So that's what I wanted to cover today, and I'd like to give you the rest of your time to finish and work on the paced decision-making model. Keep in mind, this is not due until midnight, but that you do have an ABA due today, and that I need in by 3:30. So thank you for your time, and have a great day.